Yeah, good morning. हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू गेट वाला कंप्यूटर साइंस चैनल। आज हम कंपाइलर डिज़ाइन फर्स्ट सेशन स्टार्ट करेंगे और इस फर्स्ट सेशन में बहुत सारे चीज़ देखने वाला है और वेटेज कितना है गेट एग्जाम की, इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स है और जो फर्स्ट टॉपिक लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस भी कवर करेंगे हम, ठीक है। या आर वी रेडी टू स्टार्ट? या गुड मॉर्निंग शशिकला, always winner Nish, Lalit, gamers, good morning. Yeah, sure Shashikala. So I'll try to use, okay. Lalit, yeah. We'll see introduction also, or phases of compiler, then lexical analysis और लास्ट में कुछ PYQs भी आया है. We'll also see those PYQs in this session. Okay. Yeah, Shubham, good morning. First, compiler design में क्या क्या topics होता है? What are the topics are there in the compiler design? Okay. Now we'll just start with introduction. But समझने के लिए हम क्या करने वाला है और उसके बाद जो फर्स्ट चैप्टर है, what is the first chapter? Lexical analysis. Not much important, but sometimes questions are there from here also. Syntax analysis. इसके अंदर two types of parsers है, top down parser and bottom up parser. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द एग्जाम. देन सिंटैक्स डायरेक्टेड ट्रांसलेशंस. और इंटरमीडिएट कोड जनरेशन, ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट है, ICG. और लास्ट कोड ऑप्टिमाइजेशन. एक और टॉपिक भी है, रन टाइम एनवायरमेंट्स. और ये दोनों इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट सिंटैक्स एनालिसिस मोर इंपॉर्टेंट देन अदर टॉपिक्स, ठीक है. अगर वेटेज देखना है तो इनकी वेटेज होता है, मिनिमम गारंटीड है 4 मार्क्स, बट मैक्सिमम 7 और 8 तक जा सकता है. तो एवरेज 5 और 6 होगा इनका कंपाइलर डिजाइन. सो एवरी ईयर 5 मार्क्स, 6 मार्क्स, समटाइम्स 7, समटाइम्स 4, बट वेरी रेयरली 4, वेरी रेयरली 7. सो 5 एंड 6 आप मान सकते हैं. ओके, डन. फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन में हम व्हाट इज कंपाइलर एंड इसके बाद फेजेस ऑफ कंपाइलर देख लेते हैं. तो कंपाइलर जो है, इनकी इनपुट है हाई लेवल कोड, राइट. आउटपुट क्या होगा? हाई लेवल कोड, C, R, C++, जो भी है, जावा, व्हाटएवर. तो कंपाइलर आउटपुट क्या होगा? यहां पर असेंबली कोड मान लेते हैं हम. एक्चुअली मशीन कोड भी मान सकते हैं, पर असेंबली कोड होंगे. ये टारगेट कोड, ऑब्जेक्ट कोड मान सकते हैं हम, ये टारगेट कोड. और यहां पर जो है, इससे पहले क्या क्या हो सकता है? एक प्री प्रोसेसर है. मोस्टली क्या होता है प्री प्रोसेसर? लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस के अंदर एक पोर्शन होता है इंप्लीमेंटेशन जो है एक्चुअल इंप्लीमेंटेशन. सो प्रैक्टिकल इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ द प्री प्रोसेसर इज देयर इनसाइड द लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस, बट वी आर ट्राइंग टू लर्न द ओनली डिजाइन पार्ट, तो इसलिए हम अलग कर रहा है. तो एक्चुअली प्री प्रोसेसर फर्स्ट फेज में अंदर होता है लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस के अंदर. तो याद रखना ये डिजाइन है, इंप्लीमेंटेशन एग्जैक्टली दिखना जरूरत नहीं, बट सेम जो कंपोनेंट्स यहां दिख रहा है, सो सेम कंपोनेंट्स आर आल्सो देयर इन द इंप्लीमेंटेशन, बट सम ऑफ द कंपोनेंट्स कैन बी क्लब्ड. ठीक है. Then it is also high level. You can also include the pre-processor directives. So once the pre-processing does, the pre-processed high level code will be generated. So both are C only, but here the pre-processed code will be analyzed, and this actually does inside the compiler only. So after the compiler, what happens? You are trying to say assembly code, but assembler also there after this, and it is trying to produce machine code. Okay, so most of the people, they say that what is the compiler output? Machine code. So they try to assume that assembler is also part of the compiler. So just in a design, everything we just deal separately, but in practical, in real implementation, some of the components can be clubbed to implement. Okay, after assembler there is a loader and linker, just to make ready the code is executable. Okay, then the code is executable machine code, right? So what is a compiler? Compiler takes high level code and produces the assembly code or machine code, which is called as target code. Okay, yeah, good morning Prabal. चलो, कितने फेजेस होंगे कंपाइलर में? एनीबॉडी? हाउ मेनी फेजेस आर देयर? Total 7 phases are there. This is intermediate code optimization, and this is a target or assembly code optimization. Okay, total 7 phases are there. Okay, one phase, the name is code optimization, but both are different places, so we have a different code optimizations. यहाँ पर क्या है? Intermediate code optimization, and at this point assembly code optimization. Both optimizations are different. They may use common techniques, but they are not the same programs. Okay, there are different programs. The input and output is different, and if you look at the input and output of every phase, you will be having differently. Here lexical analysis input is high level code, maybe C you can assume, and output you will see some sequence of tokens, we call it as token stream, and syntax analysis we call it as a parse tree, or some people call it as syntax tree. That's fine. And here annotated parse tree or syntax tree, and here you will see intermediate code. And again optimized version of intermediate code. So exam में ये भी possible है. What is the input or output of each phase? They can give the two lists and find out, one side they will give the phases, other side they will give the input or output. So you need to match accordingly. Code generated, now it produces assembly code. Target code we can call it as. And code optimization, again it produces optimized version of assembly code. Okay, so this is the entire picture of the phases of the compiler. How many phases? 7 phases. And the first chapter is lexical, second chapter is syntax, and third chapter we don't study semantic, but we'll study syntax directed translation. This will be covered in the SDTs. And then intermediate code, and then code optimization, and code generator is not part of the syllabus, but you can just know what is a code generator also. Okay. Ready? The first phase of the compiler is called as lexical analysis, right? So now at each phase we have the errors. So can you tell me what are the errors that you see here? And all these phases are going to report the errors. We can call it as error handler. What we call error handler. And this can also report errors, and every phase, obviously every phase can report some kind of errors. Okay, and also every phase can interact with one symbol table data structure. यहाँ पर आइडेंटिफायर का इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन होता है. इस सिंबल टेबल के अंदर क्या इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन करता है? एट्रीब्यूट इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ आइडेंटिफायर्स, राइट? आइडेंटिफायर्स कंपाइलर के लिए सिंबल मानते हैं, तो इसलिए सिंबल टेबल है यहां पर. तो एवरी फेज विल इंटरैक्ट विद द सिंबल टेबल ना. सो जो लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस रिपोर्ट करेगा एरर का नाम होता है लेक्सिकल एरर और लेक्सिकल एरर्स. सिंटैक्स एनालिसिस रिपोर्ट करेगा सिंटैक्स एरर्स, एंड देन सिमेंटिक एरर्स जो टाइप रिलेटेड की इंफॉर्मेशन होता है. और ये तो इंटरनल सिस्टम रिलेटेड फैटल एरर्स दैट मोस्टली वी डोंट हैंडल इट. द सिस्टम का इश्यूज है, वी कांट हैंडल इट. Okay, these are the user related errors. आप गलत टाइप किया होगा, गलत सिंटैक्स लिखा होगा, जो भी है, तो ये आपकी प्रोग्रामर एरर्स बोलते हैं हम इसको. और ये जो है अगर सिस्टम में मेमोरी कम है तो मेमोरी इनसफिशिएंट एरर्स जो भी है, तो सिस्टम रिलेटेड एरर्स यहाँ होंगे. ठीक है. द फर्स्ट चैप्टर वो स्टार्ट करने से पहले इस एरर्स को एक बार एनालाइज कर लेते. कितने टाइप्स की एरर्स है कंपाइलेशन में? मेनली वन लेक्सिकल एरर, सेकंड सिंटैक्स एरर. ये मेन टाइप ऑफ एरर्स है कंपाइलर से. कंपाइलर डिटेक्ट करेगा जो प्रोग्रामर का मिस्टेक्स. तो लेक्सिकल एरर्स क्या होता है यार? इस फर्स्ट चैप्टर में हम देख लेते. लेक्सिकल एरर्स हो सकता है आप गलत कैरेक्टर टाइप किया होगा, है ना, जो पैटर्न डिफाइन किया लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस में. You may not be following the pattern which is used in the lexical analyzer. So lexical analysis has a particular set of patterns. We need to follow them. If you follow any other pattern which is not defined, then it will generate lexical error. So lexical error is nothing but invalid sequence of characters might happen in the code. So it will produce the lexical error. Okay. Maybe you are there are many rules like identifier should start with a letter, but you start with a digit. That will give an error. Obviously, because that is the kind of pattern followed by the lexical analyzer. Okay. और सिंटैक्स एरर्स में क्या हो सकता है? फॉर सिंटैक्स में यार 2 सेमीकोलन बीच में होना चाहिए था, बट सेमीकोलन की जगह में कमा टाइप किया है, तो एरर आएगा. सो सिंटैक्स जो डिफाइन किया है, यू हैव टू फॉलो द सेम सिंटैक्स, अदरवाइज इट विल गिव यू एन एरर. एंड सिमेंटिक क्या होगा? आप देखो वेरिएबल इंटीजर डिक्लेयर किया है, बट उसमें डबल का डेटा स्टोर करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहा है, तो यू कैन नॉट स्टोर द डबल डेटा इन इंटीजर. Maybe you can store the character data in integer because the character is less size than integer. So some kind of errors you may see, and sometimes without declaring you are using the variable. So that kind of errors also happens in semantic errors. So these things will happen, when you are writing C programs, when you are compiling, you will get to know this kind of errors oftenly. Okay. Now the first phase of the compiler is lexical analysis. Chalo. What do you think about lexical analysis? many things, right? There are many things in lexical analysis. Can you think about what is this lexical analyzer does? So you are writing a program, it assumes that you are giving the character stream. Complete your program just looks like a characters, and it produces token stream. Example, you might be writing a program like, int x is equal 10 and main int, let's say y, something like this you typed, and what it might do, it will produce something like this: t1, t2, t3, t4, t5, t6, t7, t8, t9, t10, t11, t12, t13, something like that. Okay, it recognizes some tokens here and it will produce the tokens. What you have written is the characters. So it looks at lexemes. So it's trying to group the characters into lexeme, and each lexeme it will produce the corresponding token. So what is lexeme here? So what you have written, it's a kind of word. See, int is one lexeme that you have written, and corresponding token is there, like say t1. Actually t1 represent here keyword. So int is one kind of keyword, and similarly x identifier, so it produces t2 kind of id, and equal is an operator, 10 is a constant, semicolon is you can say special punctuation symbol, or every statement should end with semicolon. And main is a identifier name because main is just a function name, and special symbols you may assume that if you want it, int y semicolon and all these things, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 10 11 12 13. So 13 tokens in some form it will be generating, and this is called as a token stream, and this is your character stream. And you may see a lot of things here, comments or spaces or new lines, all this will be ignored and just produces like a string, right? Yeah, so this is called as a token stream, and what you have written is a character stream. Is everybody clear? And in case any issue with this program, it will produce lexical error. If any, it will report to the error handler. Okay, now this lexical analysis will also make entries into the symbol table. It will interact with the symbol table. Of course, not only lexical analysis, हर phase कंपाइलर के अंदर हर फेज सिंबल टेबल के साथ इंटरेक्ट करेगा, और इसमें जो इंफॉर्मेशन मॉडिफाई करना है, एंटर करना है, वो इनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. ठीक है, इसमें क्या क्या एंट्री करना है, यहां x आया है और क्या y मेन आया है और क्या आया है, ये जो सिंबल जैसे दिख रहा है y. सो एवरी आइडेंटिफायर के लिए इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन करेगा यहां पर. तो ये एंट्रीज x किस लाइन में आया है और किस पैटर्न फॉलो किया है, वो सब यहाँ पर. टोकन नंबर कितना है, लेट्स से t2 जो भी है, t2 इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन कर सकता होगा, और 6 मेन तो t6 है, और y क्या है 11 है, t11 है, और किस लाइन में आया, लेट्स से ये 1 में आया, ये 2 में आया, ये 3 में आया. तो जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है इसमें मेंटेन करेगा, राइट. ये लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस का जॉब है, सिंबल टेबल में हर आइडेंटिफायर का इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन करना है, बट सारे एट्रीब्यूट इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन नहीं करेगा. सिंटैक्स आएगा कुछ और एंटर करेगा, सिमेंटिक आएगा कुछ और एंटर करेगा. सो अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन करता रहेगा, और पूरा कंपाइलर के लिए सिंबल टेबल जरूरत है, पूरा कंपाइलर के लिए. क्यों, एंड में क्या होता, ये x जो है वो एक ऑफसेट और एड्रेस बनके इसके अंदर स्टोर होगा. क्यों, वो लास्ट में जब एक कोड जनरेट होगा असेंबली कोड में, इनके लिए रजिस्टर और मेमोरी असाइन होगा, तो वहां तक इनका इंफॉर्मेशन मेंटेन करेगा. मतलब लास्ट फेज तक इनकी सिंबल टेबल का इंफॉर्मेशन जरूरत है, राइट. हर फेज में ईच आइडेंटिफायर के लिए क्या करना है, राइट. फंक्शन के लिए क्या जरूरत होता है, फंक्शन के लिए कितने आइडेंटिफायर है, ईच आइडेंटिफायर का टाइप क्या है, सब इसमें मेंटेन करेंगे. यार ये तो मेन तो फंक्शन है, तो इसके लिए बहुत बड़ी वो होता है ना, इंफॉर्मेशन होता है, और रिटर्न टाइप भी हो सकता है, जो भी है. ये लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस का look or overview of the lexical analysis. What is the input? What is the output? What errors? Of course, errors will take time to understand. अभी तो start किया है ना, तो lexical analysis का functionality देखना है. अभी तो functionality देखा नहीं, सिर्फ input and output, and it interacts with the symbol table and also reports error to the handler. ठीक है. What are the functionalities? क्या क्या functionalities होता lexical analysis के लिए? Anybody? क्या lexical analysis कर सकता है यहाँ पर? There are many functionalities. Okay, एक एक लिखते जाएंगे हम. फर्स्ट फंक्शनलिटी क्या है? देखो, जब इस प्रोग्राम को स्कैन करना है तो राइट, ईच कैरेक्टर स्कैन करके एंड तक जाना होगा. तो स्कैन्स एवरी कैरेक्टर ऑफ द प्रोग्राम. एक कैरेक्टर को भी नहीं छोड़ सकता है. एवरी कैरेक्टर ऑफ गिवन फाइल और प्रोग्राम बोथ आर सेम, राइट? तो स्कैन करके क्या फायदा है? What is the use of scanning? Anybody? Why it has to scan? Because compiler scanning means who is the first phase? Lexical analysis, it is scanning indirectly. Okay? Anyone? What is the use of scanning entire program from first to the last character? There are many things to generate the tokens, correct? It recognizes many things. It recognizes spaces, new lines, comments, and tokens. All these things is a job of lexical analysis. If the preprocessor is implemented in the lexical analysis, then preprocessor as a lexical analysis also does as include as defined. It is also part of the lexical analysis, but that's we are ignoring it. That's the job of preprocessor, and in many compilers preprocessor is actually the part of lexical analysis. While it is scanning, preprocessor also works parallelly. तो आपको इतना डिफरेंस नहीं होता lexical analysis preprocessor का. preprocessor इसके अंदर implemented होगा. of course lexical analysis का जॉब अलग है, preprocessor का जॉब अलग है. ठीक है. रिकॉग्नाइज तो ये करेगा, बट प्रोड्यूस क्या है? इट प्रोड्यूसेस टोकन्स. और क्या प्रोड्यूस करेगा? लेक्सिकल एरर्स इफ एनी. रिकॉग्नाइज तो सब करना पड़ेगा, बट प्रोड्यूसिंग सिर्फ टोकन्स एंड लेक्सिकल एरर्स इफ एनी, राइट? नॉट ओनली जस्ट प्रोड्यूसेस, इट ऑल्सो मेक्स एन एंट्री इनटू द सिंबल टेबल, राइट? It stores attribute information, some attribute, not everything, some information of identifiers in symbol table. Symbol table में some information store करना होता. So that is also job of lexical analysis. Every phase does some job. This line is there for every phase. Remember, not only lexical analysis, syntax analysis. This line is there. Semantic analysis, ICG, CEG, CO. Everywhere this line is there. Okay, not only for lexical. Remember that. This is applicable to all the phases. All phases does this job. Okay, not only for lexical analysis. Remember this point. Okay. Apart from this, anything that you know about it? Anybody guess? Oh. Without identifier, Shubham Maurya, you are writing the C programs? You are writing any program in the world? Your identifier is your name, right? Name is an identifier. And in programs, what is identifier? Variable names, function names, what are they called as? It recognizes spaces, new lines, comments, and tokens. It has to recognize, and after recognizing, only it produces token, not all of them. These are ignoring. It produces tokens, and one more point, it has to ignore these three. Okay, it deletes or ignore. What are they? Spaces, new lines, white spaces basically, and comments. See, ignore, recognizing everything, but these three will be deleted and this one will be produced. That's why this is covered in 5th point and that is covered in the 3rd point. This is produced and this one will be deleted. Both has to be recognized by the lexical analyzer. Okay. How to recognize the token? So while scanning, it's going to group the characters. How to recognize? ये functionality है. It groups characters into tokens with the help of longest prefix match rule. What is the rule name? Longest prefix rule. Also called as maybe you can call maximal munch. Okay. The longest prefix it is going to use while grouping the characters into tokens. Okay. And if anybody want to use designing techniques, it can take the help of finite automata and regular expression. Okay. So other 2 points which are application oriented. Before writing a program आपको क्या करना है? Design करना होता. To design lexical analysis, you can take the help of, so finite automata can be used to design. Okay. For writing, for implementing, you can take the help of any programming language, C, C++, Java, Python, anything used to design lexical analysis. Not only finite automata, you can also use regular expression to write the patterns. Okay, mostly people may not aware something. Let me write here. Pattern, lexeme, token, or finite automata, regular expression. Of course, regular expression, pattern, both are same, right? Pattern is something, let me write one example. Let me write one example. If you don't understand, just leave it. Pattern is, suppose I want letter, very famous pattern, letter followed by any sequence of letters and digits. If you want follow this pattern, you can use regular expression directly, like letter followed by letter or digit whole star. And what is L means? L means here A, B, C, lowercase or uppercase, you decide it. Okay. And D means digit 0, 1 or 2 or till 9. So this is how you represent a regular expression. If you study TOC, you will know what is regular expression. Okay. What is lexeme here? So you will write a corresponding representation. Maybe you are using identifier rule in some programs. What's that represent? Letter, right? Okay, I'm just using something X, Y, Z, 1, 2. See, this is XYZ 1, 2 is following this rule. XYZ, first X is here, letter, and followed by any sequence of letters and digits. So letter is there here, and then any sequence. Even after that I can write A also, that works, because letters and digit I can write in a sequence. So this is what a lexeme that you write. The token you can keep as it is, or you can give some name like T1 or T10, whatever. That depends on what token you want to follow. Is it keyword or ID? If it is identifier, let's say you can give your own name ID1. Okay. Finite automata. So to represent this regular expression, you may design a finite automata something like this: letter and followed by any sequence of letter or digit. Of course, L means the 26 symbols are there. I cannot write all 26, that's why I've written L, and here 26, here 10 digits are there. So total here 36 transitions are there, here 26 transitions are there. So this is what finite looks like. So to write now, with the help of this, you can write a program. You can implement Lexical Analyzer just using function names. Let me write this F1 and let me write this F2. So you can use the function F1, within that, okay, ch is equal get char. Okay, what is it? Is it L? Oh, if ch is equal to L, I will call the function, let's say F2. Okay, and in F2 also you can write another function similar to that. If nobody is coming, then it's accepted. If anybody coming, only letters and digits. So similarly, you can write for F2, you can write a program, you can implement Lexical Analyzer with the help of the finite automata, because here the almost the required information is there to implement a program. What F1 should do, what F2 should do. So you can write your own functions to implement lexical analysis. You got an overall picture of the lexical analyzer. Of course, I did not mention every function of the lexical analyzer because the functionality of the lexical analyzer is so big. I can't help you to design everything. It takes days and months to write, or days at least, not a month, maybe 10 days, 15 days. You can implement all of them, okay, if you study them. Okay, to how to recognize the space and how to delete it, how to recognize the new line, how to recognize the comment, and how to recognize the tokens. Everything you should write a program, and among them you should only produce the tokens. If any issue is there in the program, you should produce a lexical error, that you should know when the lexical error should happen. So this all matter is very important. Done. While recognizing the token also, you should follow longest prefix rule. Then what is the longest prefix rule, how to implement with the help of the program, all of them should be mixed in one program. Okay, today mostly lexical analysis and parser are together, but anybody want to implement separately, that's okay, you can do it. There are many lex tools are there. Okay, now let's talk about the token. The word token, of course, is nothing but type of lexeme or sequence of a group of characters that is recognized as a token. It. There are so many tokens are there in many programming language. Anybody knows what are the tokens? You will see one is identifier. You should know, right? Just token word is not enough. What do you mean by tokens? Identifiers. What else you have? Keywords that you study. What else you see? Operators that you study in programming languages. What else you will see? Apart from this, anybody? Constants or literals. And apart from this, any special symbols or punctuation symbols like semicolon, parenthesis, brackets. Okay. In C, you will see these 5 types, but in other programming languages, you need to follow according to their understanding. You might know what is identifier. In C language especially, identifier means it can start with letter or underscore and followed by any sequence of letters, digits, underscore, but you should not start with a digit. Okay, remember identifier, that's why this identifier could be variable name or function name. The names that we use in programming language or programs, we call them identifier. The names are symbols for the symbol table, that the symbol word here. Identifier, nothing but it's just a name given to the variable or function, and you may use in other places like structures, many places, but just simply say variable and function names. Keywords, there are 32 keywords in C language and you may look at them. Operators, there are various types of operators, arithmetic, relational, logical, bitwise, and you can go with them. And constants, again, character, what else? What are the constants are there? Character and integer, float or real, and string constants. And in integer there are many types, again, hexadecimal constant, octal constant, right, decimal constants. There are various types of constants again. And punctuation symbols that I told already, semicolon or open parenthesis or closed parenthesis, brackets, this all comes under punctuation symbols. Okay, these tokens you could have learned in any programming language. So if you are good at this tokens, you will know how the lexical analysis works. Okay, directly help, if I am going to teach all of them, indirectly I am trying to teach a programming language that I don't want to dare. Okay, so anybody interested to learn the tokens, please go to any programming language. You can find what is identifier, you can find what is keyword, how many keywords are there, what are operators supported by that programming language or compiler, and what are the constants. Every programming language will not have the same rules. Remember, rules for framing this tokens can change, and different programming language will have a different number of keywords, different type of operators. Identifier rule may change, right, and constants rule may change, and punctuation symbols too. Okay, so if you learn any programming language in the world, these things will be easy for you to understand. But what we are doing here, C compiler design. So learn the C tokens only. Other tokens may not help you much, because in exam they will talk about C only. Now we'll go to the longest prefix rule. What is the longest prefix rule? Anyone? What is longest prefix rule? Suppose we are writing MAIN. When you look at this group of characters, M looks fine, it's valid. Even A is also fine, I is also fine, N is also fine, but it's not telling you 4 tokens. What it is trying to do? M valid, A it's trying to find the longest from here, I valid, and N valid. When the space comes, it automatically separates the tokens, because main space. So this all together is 1 token, not 4 tokens. When will be counted as 4 tokens? If you give the space M, or give semicolon, or give comma, anything, MAIN. Now this time you cannot group them. Why? A character is alone. Now this time the M is alone. So total how many tokens here? Here 4 tokens. For this it is just 1 token, but for this it is 4 tokens because of the spaces. Now longest, see, now this is the longest because you cannot club this because of space is there. When the space comes, it separates the tokens. Not only space, to separate the tokens there are many things in the we need to follow in lexical analysis. Okay, so space is one of the reason why we separate the token, but space not required. Even semicolon comes, this is a token and it also separates it. Okay, sometimes operator is a token and it is also separates the tokens. Okay, there are, other than the space, there are many other symbols can help you to separate the token. That parts are trying to help lexical analyzer how to separate the tokens all the time. If the lexical analyzer alone it cannot do, suppose it is not able to do it, then parser will help you when to separate the token. Okay, what is the longest prefix rule? Okay, now I am going to ask you many things here. Plus, how many tokens? Okay, plus, and how many tokens are there? Plus, minus, plus, equal to, plus, triple, plus. Okay, now look at this and tell me how many tokens are there each one. 1, 2, 3. Now it will help you to understand what do you mean by token using longest prefix rule. Okay, I am waiting for your answer. Okay, I will be here, but waiting for a minute. Ullman Rachit, that's a standard book. Okay. Keep answering. I'll be looking at your answers. I'm looking at, and I'll discuss. Okay, still answers are coming. Okay. Okay, let me discuss one by one. Everywhere it's going to scan, correct? So when the scanning starts from here, the plus is a valid, but double plus is also valid. It's a increment operator, either pre or post you will use, right? Yes, this is completely a single token. Everybody agree? It's just one token. And now again we'll start scanning from here. Compiler does here, right? Less than valid token, but longest we need, and double less than we'll use for left shift, right? And double less than equal, it's assignment operator. How many of you know x equal to y? It means x is equal to x left shift y, right? You know the compiler how it evaluates. There is an operator, this is a single operator, so it considers as a one token. Okay, it has a meaning, it has a meaning. Okay, it is a one token. If it is not having a meaning, it can separate, but there is no separation required, correct? Assignment operator, we have this kind of left shift followed by equal, shorthand operator it is. Now plus minus, now any operator in the world together, it is one token, and if I mix the minus, will it be any operator in the world? No, right? So this is the one token, and it starts scanning here, and now minus is another token. Here two tokens will come. Okay, now plus equal to, yeah, there is operator, you know, x plus is equal y. Similarly you can say this is x is equal x plus y, internal meaning, right? You have a meaning for plus equal to. So now when compiler starts scanning, the plus is the valid token and plus equal is the longest, then it will take as the one token. Okay, there is no longest, then it will not take, right? There is the longest. Here the plus minus is not the longest valid token, so we will just take the plus. Now mine equal to plus, equal is fine, but equal plus is not a one token, right? Equal plus is not a one token, they are two different operators, and this is a one token, and again start scanning, this is another token. So two tokens will come here. And यहाँ पर when it starts scanning, you know, till double plus it considers one token and other plus is one token, so total two tokens, total two tokens. So how many of you are correct? Like 1 1 2 1 2 2. So this is how you answer, right? First question, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth question. How many of you answer correctly? This is how you need to identify the tokens in the program. Okay, let's look into this question. This is one of the gate question. Can you answer it? I'll wait for your answer. Okay, using similar, but try to understand the pattern first. They have clearly mentioned what is this symbol, x question mark symbol. It means 0 or 1 occurrence. Read the complete data, just take 2 minutes and answer it. Okay, option D is not visible. The option D is T3 T3. This is the option D. Okay, you can take the time around 2.5 minutes. Start poll, single choice. What is the answer? Shubham and Priyanshi answered. What about others? Approach is important. The answer is available everywhere in the world, right? If we change the pattern, you should know how to solve it. Yeah, everybody getting the answer? I could have taken a different input. Okay, after that input I will change, then let's see the answer. I think 100. Okay. Oh, let's see after this. So everybody answered correctly. What is the input? This is the input, right? So now you look at which one is going to give you the maximum first. Take the longest from here. B does half of them, right? B, you can take A or epsilon, you can take epsilon here. B and B you can take here, B you can take. So everywhere B is possible. But after that, one more B required. One more B if you want here, you can repeat here itself. So one more B is here. And if you want one more B, you cannot stay here, you have to go there. And one more B you want, you can take from here. So double B is possible from all of them so far. B, B, A. A if you want, double B, A you have to go here. And if you want one more A, impossible here. And A it's possible here. So in T1, T3 is possible. And we want one more A. So double B, double A we want. See, now double B, one A you can do. One more A you cannot. And one more A you can do here. So B, B, A you can repeat here. And we want a C, and that is only possible here. After C you can't get anything. So up to here you can get a T3. What you can get? T3. And now you should start scanning from here. A, you should start scanning from here. A is done, can be done by everyone, correct? And then AB, next AB. A, B is here, and A, B is here, A, B is here. So AB is also does by everybody, and ABC. Now A, B, C is here, and A, B, C is not possible. A, B, C is possible. Now T1 and T3 both are A, B, C looks like, but T1 is not yet complete because A should be there to make it valid. Just half of the portion you can't take. If it is there, A, B, C, A is there, this is valid. But now this is a complete string A, B, C. Now see, properly whole T3 is matching, but whole T1 is not matching, still A require. If A is there, at least you can go for T1. But because of that, so only ABC is matched by T3, but not by T1. Remember, if it is A is there here, then only T1 can match, but that A is not there here. So T3, T3, you said D is the right answer. That's correct. Okay. Now let's look into the other question. Okay, same data. Now I will get to know, because this answer is there everywhere, so you might be answered by looking at, or I don't know, you might be tried on your own. Okay, I just want to write my own. Okay, A, B, A. Okay, A, C, A, B. CAC. Now for this input, can you try the answer? The whole data same. Now the input is changed. This input is changed. Take this one. I'll wait for 2 minutes, then I'll answer it. Just 2 minutes now. Whoever answering this question correctly, that means they did correctly in the previous question. Now this answer is not available anywhere in the world. Now you have to do on your own. Then how did you answer, Yashu? Previous question? I was looking at anybody answering the question, and whoever answered, whoever understood, right? They got the correct answer. They are putting T3, T1, T3 is the right answer. What is the right answer? No option here. Okay, poll stopped, and I'm just minimizing it. Those who have answered any of this is wrong. So now you just take, that's it. See, approach is not getting issue. Then what were you doing in the previous explanation? I have explained everything, right? First understand this expression. What is the meaning of this? A or epsilon B or C whole star A. This is the first one. And B or epsilon and A or C whole star B. If you know TOC or if you know regular expressions, okay, this is the meaning which is mentioned here. Question mark means either one occurrence or zero occurrence. B or A whole star C. Now, when you start the scanning here, and if you look at the T1, how long it can produce? Look at that. A, B, A. T1 can produce up to this much only. So T1 is going to produce up to this much only. But T2 how much can produce? Look at A, B. T2 can produce up to this much, up to AB only, up to this much. What T3 can do? A, B, A, C. And T3 can produce up to here. So now you should take the T3 as the longest. You look at T1 can do up to ABA and T2 can do up to AB and T3 can do this much. So who is the longest? T3. Now again we will start scanning from here. And now look at who is going to be the longest from here, and A, B, C, A. So T1 can do up to this much only. T1 can do up to this much. So let's take T1 and T2. A here, B here, and that's all. T2 can do this much. So T2 ignore it. T3 A, B, C. So T3 can do up to C. Who is the longest here? T1 is the longest. So now you need to consider T1 is the longest. Then C is only left. Who can generate the C? Oh, this requires A end, this requires B end. T3, C, epsilon, 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 C. So only this one, who can do it? T3 can do. Who can do? T3. So only T3 can do the last one. Correct? So T, this one is T3. This one is T1 and that is T3. So our right answer is T3, T1, T3. Right. That means you are ignoring. Those people who are not getting the concept clearly, that means everything you are ignoring what you are learning. Getting my point? From the beginning, you are not following what is the token. From the beginning, you are not following what is the longest prefix rule. From the beginning, you are not following what is the lexical analyzer. So watch the video again as suggested by somebody. You will get everything. Okay. Yeah. So everything is clearly explained. You need to know what is the longest prefix that matches with the 3 tokens. There are 3 tokens. Out of 3, this is the longest one. Which one? T3 is the longest it can generate. Then again scanning begins. From here T1 can do longest, not T2, T3. And from here only T3 can do, because other T1, T2 are not proper. Okay. Understood? 2 times explained, right? Previously also I did the same thing. Oh, I deleted it, but I did the same thing. See that? I did, but you are not looking at, you are not trying to understand. That's why you are failing to answer this question. So that's why I tested, especially I tested you. Are you actually mugging the concept? Are you copying from other people? That's why I tested with my own data. Now your knowledge will be tested here. Okay. You're not able to answer, that means you're not following the lexical analyzer completely. Okay. Next one. Match the following according to the input from the list 1 of the compiler. Okay, it's a MCQ only, right? Okay, previous one was completely wrong. Okay, blindly, I don't want to match with anybody. So let's go for something. I don't want D. You still answered. All are wrong answers, right? Okay. It's easy. So 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Okay. Read the data correctly. Input is the list 1. So this is the list 1 is the input. They didn't ask output. And list 2, what is the list 2? Phase. This is a compiler phase. Okay. So syntax tree, they assumed here it is as a parse tree, because intermediate representation already there. So these two are different words here. Intermediate representation is an input to code generator, correct? And character stream is an input to lexical analyzer, and token stream is an input to semantic analysis. Now syntax tree, sorry, did I do something wrong? Token stream is an input to semantic analyzer. Syntax analyzer, yeah, what I'm doing. Token stream is an input to syntax analyzer. Syntax tree is an input to semantic. I was spelling wrong. So look at that. Token stream, that's output produced by the syntax as an input to the output produced by lexical analyzer. See, I was completely wrong. Output of lexical analyzer should be an input to the syntax analyzer. So I was completely out of. Okay, that's it, right? Now which one is matching? Syntax tree should be 3, so that's the only one is matching here, C. So P3, Q4, and then R1, S is 2, correct. So get the meaning. This should be an input to the next phase. So who is the next phase you need to identify? That is a C. Okay, 90%. Why are you doing the D? First one only is a mistake, right? Yeah. I think P1. Why did you answer it? Yeah. The problem is, syntax tree, intermediate representation, both actually, intermediate representations. So some people might try P is also input to this code generator. That's absolutely right. But in these options, you need to look at which is the best appropriate, because syntax tree here is the output of syntax analyzer. This is the output of syntax analyzer. Okay, even syntax analyzer can do, apart from parse tree, syntax tree also it can produce, but that is rarely discussed. Okay, and you can judge why D is not why D is not correct. So now look at R. How can be the input to the 2? The intermediate representation, is it possible to the input to the syntax analyzer? No, right? So you can judge there are some matchings are wrong. Then how can you go for P? Might be assumed as a 1, it's okay, but others are not correct, right? So you should not choose a D. Look at everything, not just one. Choose the appropriate one. Okay. Oh, this is kind of error issue. What is it? It's also a very famous question, good question also in the GATE exam so far. It's a very good question. Okay. If you want, you can take it as even lower letters here. The first letter is typing as capital, right? You can take lower. Maybe it's a typing mistake or not, I don't know. You can take even lower case, not an issue. Okay, that you keep as it is. Which one of the following phases a 7-phase compiler will throw an error? They have very clearly mentioned it's a 7-phase C compiler, because people may assume 6-phase, 5-phase. Many people confuses between B and C. Okay, those people who already followed the previous classes or previous year lectures, you will know that the right answer. But those people who are studying first time, they have a doubt in B and C. Is it syntax or semantic error? Variable not defined, not declared, that's part of the semantic analysis. Okay, how many of you know here what is the error? It's a semantic analyzer. The semantic analyzer throws an error here. Yeah, 70%. Okay, first lexical, syntax, semantic. Okay. Okay. Now, do you have any issue with the lexical analysis? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 tokens will be produced. Agree? 12 tokens will be produced. Now, syntax analyzer, it's trying to check the syntax. The function syntax is appropriate? Yes. Statement syntax is appropriate? Yes. And the only problem, see how many syntax it verifies? It's a 1 syntax, it is a 2nd, and it is a 3. Total 3 syntaxes are there, and first function syntax is appropriate and return 0 syntax is also appropriate. What is the syntax? Integer x semicolon. How it reads? Anybody? It treats like id, let's take id 1, id 2, semicolon. Now this syntax as a confusion. Yeah, is this allowed or not? Really doubtful, but it is allowed because of the semantic analyzer requires this syntax. Why? Because in future this integer, this actually right now treated as identifier, but in future this will be synonym of the what? The type. In case that there is a keyword, you know, type def int, if anybody writes as integer, then this id is no more id, it's actually integer, it will be mapped by the semantic analyzer. So that is the reason this syntax is allowed, and no error in the syntax analyzer or syntax analysis, it will not produce an error. But semantic analyzer knows, oh, id1, id2 both are there, the id1 I am not able to replace with any type, because id1 is identifier only. Now 2 identifiers are not declared. Now here not one error, integer is not declared, x is not declared, there are 2 semantic errors are going to come here. So here semantic error will produce. How many errors are there here? 2 semantic errors. Why? Integer was not having any type definition, and so it's not knowing, it just knows, oh, integer has no type, x has no type, so 2 declaration errors. Okay, integer and x both are not declared, that will be produced by semantic error. So it's syntax analyzer, semantic analyzer will detect this error and will produce. And in case if you write this line, and all phases will execute properly and there will be no error by the compiler. If this line is added above this or above this, and the all phases, even semantic phase also will not produce an error. Only this line is an issue here. Okay. In compiler, keywords of a language are recognized during. I think you can easily answer it. इस टाइप की क्वेश्चंस गेट में, ये गेट की क्वेश्चन है, राइट. इन कंपाइलर कीवर्ड्स ऑफ ए लैंग्वेज आर रिकॉग्नाइज्ड ड्यूरिंग व्हिच फेज? डू यू रिक्वायर पोल? नॉट रिक्वायर्ड, राइट? एनीवन? Keywords nothing but token type, right? One of the tokens only. Very easy. Lexical analysis. Okay, just it's seconds. So this kind of questions can save your time. So remaining time use for other questions. Don't waste time unnecessarily. You know this 100% correct, so just answer it. Okay, don't waste time here. Go for other question quickly. Which data structure in a compiler used for managing information about variables? Variables means identifiers only, and their attributes. Which one? Today in this session, which data structure we discussed? Symbol table. Alright, it's just a definition of a symbol table, what it maintains. What it maintains? It maintains the information of identifiers, and variables is also kind of identifiers. Not only variables, even function names also. Okay. Okay, I am giving you some homework. Please try to answer it. You know, you have a question, it's a homework. Okay, just take this homework. Keywords of already done, right? I think it's a copied question, and we have not done this. Okay, yeah, you can read this question and answer it according to your understanding. Okay, again another question. It's the same or different? which data set compiler, how many times it's copied? I'm very sorry, it's copied paste. Okay, so answer 2 questions are there, which is new here. This is one question and second question and then third question. This is also same, I guess. So 2 questions I'm giving you homework, 1 and 2. That's it. Okay, this one is already we answered it, so I'm deleting it. Okay, yeah, only 2 questions. So let's have a revision of today's session. Today we have discussed, क्या डिस्कस किया था आज? लेक्सिकल एनालाइजर. तो इसमें क्या क्या टॉपिक्स कवर किया था? तो मेन टॉपिक्स याद रखना है, यहां पर क्या क्या रिकॉग्नाइज करेगा, क्या क्या प्रोड्यूस करेगा, क्या क्या डिलीट करेगा और क्या क्या रूल यूज करेगा, जस्ट शॉर्ट फॉर्म में यूज कर लेना. रिकॉग्नाइजेस व्हाट, सारे याद रख लो. क्या क्या रिकॉग्नाइज कर सकता? वाइट स्पेसेस, जो न्यू लाइन जो भी है, स्पेसेस इंक्लूडिंग न्यू लाइन, कमेंट्स, टोकन्स, ये सारे. राइट, प्रोड्यूसेस tokens mainly, and also reports errors if any, lexical errors if any. Or deletes spaces and comments. Which rule uses the rule to recognize the tokens? Longest prefix. Right. Shivam, how to find the lexical error? Did I miss it? Okay. You want lexical error? Let's take some examples before leaving today's session. What do you mean by lexical error? Let's take lexical errors. Not discussed, then take. Just identify lexical errors, right? Find lexical errors if you have it. Otherwise, no lexical error. Okay. First question. Int 1, 2, 3, x semicolon 2. Int 1, 2, 3 space x 3. Int hash x semicolon 4. Char ch is equal to a semicolon 5. Int x is equal to 0 to 7 9 1 6. Char ch is equal to abc 7 comment 8. in space t 123. Okay, just now find out. You want lexical error, right? अब इसमें lexical errors होगा नहीं होगा ये फाइंड करना है आपको. इसमें lexical error होगा क्या? ये टोकन है, वैलिड टोकन है, ये कीवर्ड है, ये किसी के अंदर नहीं आता यार. 1 2 3 x बीच में स्पेस नहीं है, ये है lexical error. कैसे lexical error होगा? जब यहां से स्कैन करेगा तो 1 2 3 यहां तक ठीक है, बट इसके बाद जो x स्कैन करने के बाद प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, इनवैलिड सीक्वेंस मिल जाता है इनको, और स्पेस नहीं है इसको आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए. अगर स्पेस होता तो वैलिड टोकन होगा, इनवैलिड सीक्वेंस, इसलिए इसके अंदर एरर होगा. राइट, विच एरर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट? ओनली लेक्सिकल एरर. ठीक है, बाकी एरर्स को देखना मत. और ये देखो, ये वैलिड है, ये कांस्टेंट है, ये आइडेंटिफायर है, ये पंक्चुएशन है, तो ये बिल्कुल वैलिड है। इसमें 4 टोकन्स होगा, नो लेक्सिकल एरर, 4 टोकन्स होगा और नो लेक्सिकल एरर। ठीक है, और इसमें देखो इंट तक ठीक है, बट जब ऐश आया तो ऐश एक्चुअली वैलिड कैरेक्टर ही नहीं है सी लैंग्वेज में। अगर ऐश को यूज करना है प्री प्रोसेसर में, ऐश इंक्लूड यूज करो, चल जाएगा। ऐश पहले आया तो कम से कम उसको वो डायरेक्टिव मानते हैं हम, बट इंट ऐश, यार ये ऐश वैलिड कैरेक्टर नहीं, डायरेक्टली नहीं दिख सकता, सिर्फ प्री प्रोसेसर डायरेक्टिव्स के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं हम पहले, वो भी पहली कैरेक्टर, और बीच में कभी किसी में भी ऐश नहीं आएगा। अगर ऐश चाहिए तो कैरेक्टर के अंदर लिखो, इसके अंदर इसके अंदर लिख सकते हैं, डबल कोट में अंदर लिख सकते हैं, बट डायरेक्टली नहीं। तो ये है इनवैलिड हो जाता सीक्वेंस, इनवैलिड सीक्वेंस ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स, इनवैलिड कैरेक्टर भी बोल दो चल जाएगा। ये लेक्सिकल एरर है, दिस इज लेक्सिकल एरर। एंड नाउ लुक एट, इट्स अ कीवर्ड, identifier, operator, and character constant is started, but there is no end at all. So this is also invalid pattern for the character, right? The end quote is missing, right? End single quote is missing. So invalid pattern or invalid sequence. ये होता है lexical error. और ये देखना, ये कीवर्ड है, identifier equal is what? Operator, and 0 represent octal, and up to here 2 7 is fine, but 9 it's an invalid octal digit. This is an invalid sequence. Why invalid sequence? It should only contain octal digit, wo means octal, and here you should have only 0 to 7 digits, but 9 is invalid digit. Okay, so sequence is going to be invalid, so lexical error. And see, single quote, you can have one letter, you can have special quotes like slash and, but ABC is never be accepted within the single quote. So the lexical analyzer knows, and when it's trying to find, this is invalid completely, invalid length of the character. So character is should have either A or slash n, these things only should be there, either slash followed by one character or single character, but these three characters never been as a single character. You might know it. ABC is not, it's a string, you can specify in ABC double quote, but in Python it's okay, double quote, single quote, within single quote, within double quote, it's a string. In Python it's okay, but in C language this is not a string, and we call it as a character. Character never be like this, so it's invalid. It is also lexical error. And those people who studied Python, be careful, this is not a string at all in C language. It should be character, but character is, ABC is not a single character, 3 characters actually they are. And see, now comment begin is append, but when it is trying to look for ending, there is no end of comment. It looks all the lines, you are not having slash, star and slash. If you have this somewhere after this, then there is no issue, but I don't have it, so no end of comment. So this is also lexical error. In the process of grouping lexemes, this is an error, lexical error happened. And what is this? Identifier, constant, all of them correct, no lexical error, 4 tokens. Done. That's why you should learn the C language. Ankit Misra, I have not defined it. This is a rule of programming, C programming language. If you start with 0, it is octal. If you start with 0x, it is hexadecimal. If you directly start with any other digit, it's just decimal, not like this, okay? It's 0 is specially given for the octal, okay? If it is ignoring any of the compilers, that's okay. I'm not responsible. Right. Confusion hota hai because you are not learning the programming language properly. It's not about the compiler, right? You have written a lot of programs, by understanding a lot of concepts, then these things will be easy. You don't know what is the octal, you don't know what is the character constant, you don't know what is the comment, then who will help you? I cannot help you, right? So understand. In the second, what is the issue? Error is there. I am only talking about lexical error. Oh, remember this, compiler error here is there. Here also compile, here no lexical error. Where is there? Here no lexical error, right? But compiler error is there. Compiler error is there. Syntax error is there. Okay. The problem is I am talking about lexical error. तो समझना क्वेश्चन सिर्फ लेक्सिकल एरर के लिए, कंपाइल एरर इसमें है बट लेक्सिकल एरर नहीं है. लेक्सिकल में क्या होता है, ये कीवर्ड है, समझ में आया इनको, ये स्पेस आया ना तो ये टोकन हो जाता है, ये कांस्टेंट आया है, बट दोनों साथ में लिख के नहीं देखता. या सिंटैक्स एनालिसिस का काम है यार ये सिंटैक्स सही है नहीं है, वो सिंटैक्स एरर है बट लेक्सिकल नहीं है, ये कांस्टेंट है और ये आइडेंटिफायर है, बिल्कुल क्लियर है. ये क्या है, ये पंक्चुएशन मान लो, सिंबल स्पेशल पंक्चुएशन मान लो उसको, ये वैलिड सीक्वेंस ऑफ टोकन्स है. ठीक है, या यहां व्हाइट स्पेस है बीच में, इनकी वजह से कोई, या देखो व्हाइट स्पेस नहीं है यार, लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस के पास इतना नॉलेज नहीं है और 1 2 3 x को सेपरेट करके देखे तो 1 2 3 प्लस लिखो, वो सिंटैक्स एनालिसिस हेल्प करेगा इनके लिए. यहां 3 टोकन्स हो जाता. ठीक है, 1 2 3 x आया यार, सेपरेट नहीं कर सकता खुद ही बैठ के, ठीक, उनके पास वो रूल नहीं है 1 2 3 x को सेपरेट करने के लिए, बट 1 2 3 प्लस x लिखो, प्लस हेल्प करेगा दोनों को सेपरेट करने के लिए. ठीक है, डन. प्रैक्टिस. ठीक है, होमवर्क 2 क्वेश्चन दिया है तो 2 क्वेश्चंस को कर लेना. आई होप लेक्सिकल एनालिसिस यार पहली बार जब पढ़ रहा है तो 1-2 बार रिपीट कर लेना. पहली बार यार पहली डेफिनेशन को याद रख के अप्लाई करना मुश्किल होता है, तो 2-3 बार रिवाइज करो, डेफिनेशन से याद रहेगा. जब डेफिनेशन से याद रहेगा आराम से अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, एवरी वर्ड जो बताया तो उसको फॉलो करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, और tomorrow we'll start the syntax analysis, and that too in the syntax analysis we'll start with the top down parser. Okay, see you tomorrow, same timing, 8 a.m. tomorrow also, because I have other classes, Shivam, so I cannot take any other timings right now, but let's see. But tomorrow same time 8 a.m. we'll have the syntax analysis. See you till then, bye bye, take care.